Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got videos today from MTR. Again, please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get that chow.
Would get mad at me for dating outside my race. But I was dating outside of my race because they was doing things better than my race. I'm gonna keep it 100.
Define better.
Define
better.
Well, not better, because I know where she getting ready to go. Not better.
I know, you said they were doing things better. I wanted to know what better meant.
Not better. I'm gonna change that.
I'm trying to save you for the
Bro, if it's better, it's better, man.
people, for the culture.
Not better. For the culture.
There we go.
Right, not better. I was dating Puerto Rican, I was dating Dominican, I was dating African, I was dating all type of other really size American black, right? They were doing way more of what we expect we want our woman to do more than our American. Our American got real comfortable with...
Give me some examples.
This seems like he's not just talking about American blacks. It's a good chunk of Americans. The women that he was naming off were very foreign women that come from, that usually stay very traditional from their foreign countries.
Sounds like better, my G. If it's better, then don't walk it back.
Yeah, don't walk it back.
Oh man, I mean, their mannerisms are different. Like even my
Better
Indian one
better.
was from Syria, one of them countries over there, right? I didn't have to really say much to do and be treated like a king.
True.
You see what I'm saying? A lot of times with our own American black, they expect so much of us and what we're supposed to do. Like things like if we go out and eat and we just have a nice dinner, we can go anywhere and eat and get a nice dinner. It had to be Rue Chris, or it had to be this, that, or it had to be this, that.
See, this subject, this is why I love the community. I love covering these certain topics, because this subject translates to everyone. To not just the black community, not just to this gentleman, not just to black women, but to the American people, because what he's talking about translates to almost all the races that are American, that are Americanized. Asians that are Americanized are the exact same way. Hispanics that are Americanized the exact same way. And white people are kind of this way, unless they're from Europe or something, so it is what it is. But the women in America itself just don't understand the mannerisms, the little things that they should do or to please a man, or to make a man want to do things for them, just to have a better attitude, to be more modest, to be a little bit all these things. American culture is lacking. All American women. But they're talking specifically about their community, which I love, but it also helps everybody else see and translate it over to every other community too.
Then I get somebody that's just as fine, a Cuban or a Colombian. They don't care about none. They care about you and your household.
Yep.
Even though they still care about the money, but it's not about the money.
Correct.
You understand what I'm trying to say? It's a difference.
They care about the money, as in they want it there, but that's not their forefront of that's what they want it for, is to spend. They just want it there to make sure it can propagate the family.
Not better, but sometimes we get tired of hearing Birkin bags and sushi.
Do you think that's fair? Because I feel like there's a certain type of woman that does demand that. And to me, I think it depends on the bait you're using and where you're looking.
It could.
If you're gonna go get a model from Instagram that got the BBL, the snatched in stomach, and has all the things that check off money hungry and surface, you're gonna get that.
She's not wrong in saying that. If you utilize shiny things to attract women, you cannot be mad then when they want those shiny things for their damn self. But I think what the brother is bringing up is not so much trying to attract women with flashy things, but that within Western culture, there is a damn high expectation of what a man should be making and how much should a man be dishing out to take care of her. But that expectation or that privilege or that entitlement is not so much as present within women from other places. This is
like the whole Ruth's Chris thing. I've only been to that place once. Quite pricey. I didn't think it was that great, personally. I like other steakhouses a little bit better. But people expect that as a first date. I've only been there once out of my life. I'm 38 years old. I've lived in LA and OC most of my life. I've been around Ruth Chris. Like, it's not far. It's right next to Disneyland. I go to Disneyland all the time. It's not a place that people go often. So to be taking women on first dates, it's crazy.
the ideology of the passport bro.
If you're gonna meet a girl and through different ways and ask different questions, you're going to find that out a lot earlier on, that what's important to her.
I'm not doubting that, but I'm just talking about even if you look on just a regular dating app and just look at what a woman may state that she required.
Yeah.
Be taken care of. I love gifts. I love money. You see literally plastered onto their profiles, like, take care of me, princess treatment only.
You know, and I'm saying these things because it feels as if social media again is the barometer, okay, and it's the comparison, and when you're comparing yourself to all these other women, and of course, even with the BBLs, because I'm like, huh? That's fine, but I mean...
What's BBL? I'm sorry.
Brazilian butt lift.
Bless her
heart. And there's no shade to women that have them. I'm just saying.
I was wondering, I was waiting for it too. I'm like, excuse me?
And there's no shade to everyone that has them. I'm just saying, if you're going by just surface things and that's who you're going afterwards, then guess what? She's gonna run them pockets.
It's way deeper and more pernicious than that. And I often hear this argument from different women, but that argument to me is surface level because this behavior exists not only for flashy guys, but also average income, white collar and blue collar working men as well. Not all, but it exists in droves. My evidence for this, go run back to Kevin Samuels live streams from a couple of years ago and how many women would ask for a man making $200,000, $300,000, $500,000.
Damn it, MTR, you two and the axe.
Was a year.
No, and I'm not, and I want to get your thoughts, Doc, and as well, Amy, as a woman dating or even considering, I think that a lot of times, you know, we do value women, but when you talk about Black relationships, I think we all come with some baggage, all right? Now, some of us have some baggage that's not gonna fit in the overhead compartment, and some of us have some baggage that you're gonna have to pay a whole lot more for to get on this flight, right? But the reality of it is that's just who we are, and I'm talking about historic. Like if you're talking about being enslaved, where we were and how we engage each other, there's a lot of elements there.
Why do you have to go back all the way to that far in the slavery? Nowadays, modernism, like the slavery, I don't feel, in my opinion, just, I could be wrong, I don't feel like most people are even within like 1 or 2 generations touching slavery anymore. So it is far enough away to where I don't think it has to be brought up every time.
There. But it can be a little difficult because women have expectations that they're watching and they're very material expectations. I agree with you, Claudia, but I'm simply saying that...
Not all of them are material.
And I'm not trying to generalize
It's just
women.
Most of the time it's pointing to American women are more material.
Correct.
And it's America as a society.
Not better.
Let's bring spirit into this.
And I gave you the space to even edit the better part, right? So and I'm with you on that. But let's say this because
she's about to talk with her emotions as opposed to logic. But
of course, she's upset as soon as she heard better.
Maybe I'm getting ahead of it, but let's listen.
You guys both tie in 2 really important pieces, right? You talk about women who are not African-American women, and you talk about the experience and what is the influence here. You mentioned social media, but what you're really missing here is the piece that you talk about, the enslavement part. The culture and the trauma that African-American men and women and children have faced in this country is like unlike any...
See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm insensitive to this, but it's been so long that I get that there's trauma. I get that there were some bad things that happened. Bad things happen to everyone, all cultures. Like, it's not... Like, even my culture had horrible things happen to it, right? Like, my communist war literally killed 80% of our own population. We had to rebuild. We poisoned our own land. People died of starvation, things like that. But I don't try to bring that up every time something is difficult in my life. That like, oh, I went through this or this happened to my people. No, whatever's going through my life right now is usually through my own decisions and my own choices that I made. That's what I want to talk about. Not things that trauma and all these things. Can we just get rid of some of that?
Other group And so when we talk about trauma, what we know is that Black people have a lot of unprocessed trauma. We have a lot of hurt. We have a lot of harm, not just back then, but right now on the daily, right? And so one of the things that we talk about as professionals within my profession is we talk about how trauma impacts people. And so we love to say, Resma Menakem, one of my favorite colleagues, he says that trauma decontextualized within a person looks like personality. And that trauma decontextualized within a family looks like family traits.
And what the brother is saying, and what many men are saying, including the Passport Bros, is we do not have to be here for your trauma. There are many people walking around today, both male and female, that are satiated within whatever trauma that they have experienced, their forefathers have experienced, but that trauma brings them no results.
Correct.
At the end of the day, men...
I guess that's why MTR hit it right on the nail. I think that's why I say it. It's like it doesn't do anything for you now to bring up this trauma, nor anything. Fix the trauma and get over it. Am I being insensitive about it?
Want peace as well as modesty and your femininity, not your arrogance, your selfishness, your manipulation, your dishonesty, your constant criticism, your controlling tendencies, or lack of respect, especially if you blame all those things on some trauma. No man needs to sign up for your baggage nor your trauma. And if you continue to carry that and to hold on to it, then I don't want it. Many men don't want it, and they go elsewhere to seek it out. Only the healed women in a community deserve protection, deserve respect. So these women must do everything in their power to let go of the trauma and fix it.
Agreed.
If you want a pre-made man, then why can't we get a pre-made woman?
And that trauma decontextualized within a people looks like culture, right? And so when you talk about how African-American women present and what they need as it relates to security and finances and the finer things in life, and to look a certain way and to want a certain thing from their man and to have certain expectations. It's because of the trauma that we are still trying to survive.
Just imagine for
Is it me? Is it just... It's using it as an excuse.
a second, if anyone can use this pathetic excuse regarding trauma, right? I'm overweight and I couldn't stop eating because of my trauma.
Eating.
I couldn't secure the job during my interview because of my trauma. I couldn't go buy a new car because of my trauma. I couldn't pay the mortgage on my house because of my trauma. Again, men will not forgive you for your trauma. I couldn't get or keep a man because of my trauma. Trauma does not get results. Accountability does. Once you become accountable and you fix whatever internal issues that you have, it will result in you being a better product on the dating marketplace today. You cannot shame or insult men to put up with you and your trauma.
And when we talk about feeling beautiful and the BBLs and the Birkin bags and the wanting the nice things and wanting their men to come with a certain level of care and a certain level of treatment and expectation, we are trying to...
You do realize most other cultures and stuff don't have the exact, they have nowhere close to the expectations of this in the modern world.
Connect. We are trying to heal with you. We are trying to build with you. But there's so much hurt and trauma that we all have that we don't talk about, that we don't even understand within ourselves.
I hate how women like her talk this way about trauma and emotions as if she knows this is exactly what's freaking affecting everyone. No, some people are just lazy, and some people just don't care about others, and some people are just bad people.
Man, with all due respect, you can talk about your past trauma, but do not wallow in it. Figure out solutions for it. I mean, the type of men that most women want, high or earning, results-oriented men, do not wallow in their trauma. Why? Because again, their trauma gets no results. It makes no money. And therein lies the problem. You want these type of men because of what they can give you, but you don't qualify for these type of men.
So that we can't find who we're compatible with. Because who we're compatible with is traumatized versions of ourselves.
Spirit, do you think that women and men, women that seek the materialistic things, items, the tangible things, and men that just seek the women for the aesthetics, do you think those are people?
All men seek women for aesthetics. Like, that's built into men.
That kind of just gave up on love and they're just like going for, all right, well, at least I can see this. I can grab onto this.
No, I think it's science. If you really want to know, we are part of the animal kingdom like anything else.
Now it comes to science. Okay.
And so what the male species chooses is the thing that's biologically beautiful, because what it suggests from a DNA perspective is you're likely to bear my offspring and they will do well. It's survival of the fittest. And what the female species chooses is the male offspring that can provide the most security.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be able to protect me and our offspring and raise us, and we will do well.
So we're not gold diggers, it's just science.
Oh, shut up. Now, while I agree with what the woman just said, specifically within Black culture, what is normalized regarding men peacocking and women's expectations of those men is severely skewed. It is severely hampered by social media, the music that we listen to, and mainstream media in general. And because in the West, there's so much of a focus or magnifying glass on those things being valuable, the young people are influenced into thinking that those very things are valuable. Meanwhile, it would do the culture way more benefit if the women looked at the men from more of a morality perspective and had a better understanding of what a man is, or the value placed on what that man does for a living, or how much money that he made, his masculine virtues, and vice versa. And men focused on women's ability to be feminine and peacemakers, to be
family-oriented, motherly abilities,
modest and non-worldly, and not twerking and shit all over Instagram for simps, likes, and validation, not wallow within their trauma or someone to feel bad or sorry for them. And there's so much more that I can name on both sides of the coin, but if those things became more of the focus instead of the debaucherous, ratchet-ass shit that we see normalized, then I think that we'd get...
And the thing is about it, Black culture is very prevalent. Even though they are a very small, minute minority in the American culture compared to white, Black culture reigns quite supreme. Like, Black media is very strong. Asian media is almost non-existent. And Hispanic media is actually getting very strong now too. Right? So it's nice that other races can come and see some of these things, because we don't have our own. That's the thing I think people don't realize, why like other minorities use a lot of Black content and a lot of Black creators and stuff. We don't have our own media like this. We weren't in media the way Black people are in media, and we're trying. You know, some people are trying. But in my little niche is relationships and, you know, women, men, and this, even though everything is kind of pertaining to Black culture and Black community right here, it also widens quite easily to every other culture, because the things that these men are experiencing and their women are becoming things that we are experiencing for other cultures and their women. So it's good to kind of see these things and understand what's going on.
Get somewhere.
It's literally biology. It is literally biology.
We
When
have
you
our
see,
own
listen,
different...
listen, when you see the brothers out there with the rims and the flash and the money and the gold, they're no different than the male peacock that's showing his whole big pretty feathers. Look at me, look at me. And when you see the women that go, show me what you got, show me what you're working with, it's no different than the frog that ribbits the loudest, or the bird that chirps the loudest.
So what do you call a man that's just been providing, that doesn't ask for nothing? What do you call the guys like me who we don't ask for anything?
Oh, but you do.
How?
You may not ask it with your words, but your expectation is there. So when you say, I need that woman that loves me, I need that woman that has my back, so I don't have to say, hey, is that bacon and eggs there? Hey,
okay,
are those clothes in the drawer?
Not cash-wise. Okay.
So when we talk about compatibility, right, one of the things that I love to say, an acronym that I use is rises, that some relationships rise, some fall. You want one that rises. Rises stands for the different types of intimacy that make us compatible.
I like her. I think that she's on in certain places, but a little bit off in a couple. I obviously do not agree with the reliance on this ancestral trauma in order to understand some of these different things that are happening today? Can certain things be playing in a factor? I mean, someone's always going to argue it. But at what point do you snap the chalk and instead of focusing on the trauma, you solution for it? But the problem is that solution forces accountability, and accountability will make you lose subscribers. It'll make you lose influence. It'll make you lose money. It's a lot easier to market trauma to a community and continuously hone in on
MTR just kind of blew my mind right now that, marketing the trauma itself is money. Makes sense.
On it. Organizations get built, new communities get built and funded on the back of believing that you are much lower than what you actually are. That's why I try to lead so often through my talking points, through a perspective of power, because no result that I've gotten in my life has been reliant on, oh, woe is me. It's always been reliant on beating the next person. Achieving what people thought I could never achieve before. So this concept of trauma, it goes beyond relationships and can go as far into joy or happiness within one's life. I appreciated this conversation right here, but guys, drop me a line below. What do you think about this particular conversation?
No, I am actually full 100% agreement with MTR, with her. Like, she has good talking points, but I definitely disagree with the whole trauma of going that far back. Like, even the trauma that my family faced, it happened in the 70s. So it was not that far long ago. My family's literally, I still have family members alive that have gone through it. My dad, my mother. Like, my mother was a family of 11. It was mom, dad, and she had 9 siblings. Story time. I don't tell this story too often. It has to do with my mother. But my mother had an older sister. Her older sister was gorgeous, according to my mother. I don't know. I wasn't born, obviously. And the leader of the regime, Pol Pot, the leader of the Communist Party at the time, took a fancy to her and literally just kidnapped her. Took her from the family, did unspeakable things to her, and she killed herself. She self-deleted because of that. And after all that, my mom's family got decimated. The only people left in my mom's side of the family is her and her younger sister. That's what happened. She told, like, some of the stories of her growing up put me to tears of some of the things that she had to do. Like, she would have to light a fire into the brushes and then have her sister wait with the like a piece of stick, just because once you light it, the rats are going to be coming running out of the field, and then you're going to have to try to smack the rats and then, eat it and cook it. That's what they did when they were kids. I can't imagine that there's not much trauma from almost quite a bit, almost 100 years ago now, that it really affects some of the people here nowadays. Even I am my mom's son. That particular trauma, I feel, doesn't even affect me too much, other than I knew what happened to my parents. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. And appreciate it.